It should not cut parts. It does have to cut sentences up if they're too long because of a limit in the API, so I have no control over that. But it should not forget any words or anything. Also, you said what a story, and I said haha in the Tommy Wiseau accent. And that was a thing. It was the reference. Anyway, welcome back to NieR.
Well, why I didn't hear parts of the story I wrote to you?
I don't know.
What an accident.
Welcome back to NieR. We're still fishing. Let me get back to the spot. And let's do some fishing. This won't be for very long, so... just a bit of fishing for today to chillax before the movie. Man, whenever I pick this game back up...
Try to remember some of the basics of fishing.
Whenever I pick this game back up, it just feels so good to move around in and... shit. Wait, who's this? I haven't seen that enemy type here.
I think I need to head to sleep then.
Really?
It feels
you sure
good
you can't
when I pick up
stay
my
up?
dick.
Stay up for a few minutes longer to do some fishing. Wind down to some fishing.
Shinji is gonna dream about it.
That's nice.
I suppose I'll just lay in bed and watch you fish and then try to not vanish.
Okay. Oh, keep pressing the wrong button. There's 2 fish left that we need to catch. One of them is exceedingly rare, apparently. So, yeah. The birds are mad because they're hungry, and they're idiots for not eating the fucking... put some cabbage in their food tray, but they don't want to eat it because they're dumb. Place your bets. Are we gonna catch any of the 2 remaining fishes
Give
tonight?
them berries and fruit.
I don't have any in stock right now.
We will.
Okay. I bet on we won't.
Not.
Hey man, you can't copy me now.
I agree with pincers. That we will.
We will definitely catch those fish.
At some point, probably. What are we watching on movie night tonight, anyway?
Adaptation.
I don't remember... What? I don't remember that title at all.
With Nick Cage.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Nothing's biting.
They're gonna bite you.
There's something. More brains.
Gotta get some steak. Be right back.
Okay. I think if you just made a game that was only this, like having some nice sceneries and being able to fish, it would not be nearly as effective as this is. Like, there's not much in what you're doing in order to fish. There's not really anything going on mechanically or anything, but I think it has as much of an effect as it does because of how much of a juxtaposition it is towards the rest of the game. You know, this is just small side content, but because of everything else that fleshes out this world, it is much more effective in what it is. You know, it provides some context.
Contrast is good.
Yes. Contrast and context as well. Like, I don't think I would ever be playing a fishing game, as it were, because that's just not for me. I don't really care about the fishing mechanics or the realism of it or anything like that. I care about the atmosphere and mood, which it probably would also not be able to deliver for me. You know, I always keep coming back to... Okay, so when I have something that I really enjoy, obviously I want to have more of it. And, you know, because I'm a lunatic, my idea is then, well, I gotta make more of it myself, because obviously it's not just gonna come to me. But I don't think I'll ever be able to make even half of anything like this game on my own. You know, just being realistic. There is just way too much that is, way too much experience and work that is put into something like this, and it's so easy to underestimate that.
I shall keep giving my best to help out.
Thank you. Can't even hear it there. If I can make ever in my lifetime anything that is even half as pretty or half as enjoyable to play as this, I'll be damned. And I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, I mean, there are several, how should I put it, one-man team success stories.
It's doable and a realistic long-term goal at least.
I don't think so. Like, you keep hearing, well, no, you don't keep hearing, but there are several, like, success stories of one-man games. You know, the most notable and well-known, of course, being Cave Story. And perhaps Stardew Valley now. But no matter what you do, if you compare those kinds of games to something like this, in terms of scale, detail, and just pure knowledge and work required, it is just nowhere even close. Like, obviously things like Cave Story and Stardew Valley and like fucking Dwarf Fortress are amazing achievements in their own rights, but it's still just, you know, in terms of what is required, there is no comparison. It is so vastly outclassed. It's simply because, you know, the more I learn about making games myself and like all the things,
to put together a band.
all the things that are required to do it, it's just astounding. You know, you have concept artists, character artists, world design artists, then you have 3D modelers for the characters, you have 3D modelers for the landscapes, then you have animators, motion capture, voice actors, you have environment specialists, consulting architects perhaps even. I don't know how far they got with that. And you have, of course, engine people that work on graphics optimization and all the different aspects of whatever you need, and like this is using a pre-made engine, and I'm building my own like a fucking lunatic. And so all of those other things that an engine needs to be able to do, I need to do myself as well, and it's just, yeah. Thinking about all the things that go into something like this, it seems insurmountable. Even if you're incredibly diligent
did you
and
catch one of them yet?
no, even if you're incredibly diligent and like a super hard worker, I don't think you can acquire all the knowledge necessary in your lifetime in order to be able to do this on your own. And that's even assuming that you would have the capabilities and skills and predetermination required to even be able to attain the same kinds of levels of skill as the people that usually work on these things. You know, as much as I would like to believe otherwise...
As I said, got to put the band together.
Yeah. As much as I would like to believe otherwise, like, there are certain things that people are more suited towards, that they can learn and improve at more easily than others. And, yeah, things outside of that area are just gonna take even longer to master. And putting together a team for a game is incredibly difficult, mostly because either it is a full-time job, in which case you need a lot of money in order to support all these kinds of people. And if it isn't, most people are going to be busy with their jobs and own lives and won't have any time to dedicate to a project like this. I just know that all too well from my own experience, trying to, you know, get people involved and all. So, yeah, I don't know. Even if you do involve other people, the difficulties that you encounter are going to be immense. It really isn't a surprise to me that the absolutely overwhelming majority of projects in like open source and modding and, you know, indie game dev are solo projects. Mostly because scaling up from there just is unlikely, if you will.
Oh right, Lewin there in 3 weeks.
Yep, that's coming up again. I don't know if... I might... Depending on how badly things go, I might have to cancel it. Because, you know, I need to hand in my thesis at the end of the month. And I don't know if I'll be able to spare a weekend or 3 days of something else. I don't know yet. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to hurry up with that, like really put work into that next week. Or this week, depending on how you roll with it. Because I'm kinda behind schedule. Not really due to my own fault,
right.
but...
I'll take part on it though. And there's always another Ludum there.
Sure, there is always another one, but it is a comparatively rare opportunity. Fucking give me one of those fish. One of them isn't even supposed to be rare.
Working on such a project when you're doing it part-time is pretty difficult over the internet. Can't even force people to show up in a reliable way.
Yeah. And even then, you don't really want to do this because, you know, ideally you want people to have their own interests invested in the project. Like, they should be self-sufficient and they should want to work on it. You shouldn't have to force people to work on it. Because if they don't want to work on it, they're probably not going to do very good work on it. Part of that is why I loathe people that are too enthusiastic about things, like too overly positive. Like, people that are like, it's happened more often than not that I've asked people like, hey, I have this thing here, would you be interested in working on that? And they're like, yeah, that sounds great, that's really cool and stuff, and then nothing ever happens. Like, why you gotta be lying to me? Evidently, if you're never gonna do anything with it, you weren't that interested after all. Just fucking tell me. I would rather not have the stress of having to worry about your dumbass than being turned down at the beginning. Like, I don't care. If you have better things to do, that's understandable, obviously. Just don't screw me over. Anyway. It's like a bait and switch in a sense. Sure, people don't mean bad, but that doesn't change the outcome. I think that makes me sound really bitter and stuff. But, you know. What can I say? Come on, son. Just maybe one fish. One of the fish that we need to catch is the two-head, like one that has a head on both ends. It should be in this region, but I don't know. Ah, shit. I don't know what hokuk means. I'm gonna have to look it up. Pretty sure it hasn't been in my dictionary studies so far. Probably result or something like that. Fucking tires all the time, come on.
Sorry I've been so unable to get things done in the past month. Had a meeting with my employer about that recently too.
Well, I mean, you have psych problems, so it's not really your fault. You can't be blamed for that.
Catch.
I tend to blame myself for it.
Well, that's not good, because that's definitely not going to help you overcome your problems. It's not something you can
Yeah.
force. I mean, the belief that it is your own fault is usually what makes depression such a bad and hard to fight thing, because it creates a self-sufficient cycle. Or, well, I shouldn't say that. I should say it's definitely part of what makes it a vicious cycle. But not all of it, of course.
Ah, well, I hope the fish appears.
I'm not a lucky man, so I don't think it's gonna.
Nice shark.
I wonder if I should take regular old pole fishing this summer. Just to get out on Sundays and relax a bit.
Who knows? Might be a good idea.
And it'd get me to make some good food too.
Pretty sure this water here is composed of exactly 4 polygons. Or 4 edges, vertices. 2 polygons. 2 triangles to be precise. Yeah. It only appears to have structure, pretty sure.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a well done effect. Getting a PBR engine together in trial would be fucking sweet. But I don't know when that's ever gonna happen. Gomi. Now that we have different support for different texture formats per shader passes, though, I should go back to the Fang rendering stuff and implement HDR and other fun things like that. Shadow mapping. Gomi.
What exactly is PVR?
PBR. Physically based rendering. It's a technique used in pretty much all of the modern games in order to achieve materials.
Oh, PBR.
Yes.
I think Learn OpenGL's site has a chapter on that. I need to continue their tutorial too.
Yeah, they do. I don't know how deep it goes into it though. I don't think very, but yeah. It's a good resource. Have you finished reading my articles? Or are you still not done with that?
Not quite. I have two still unread, I think.
Okay.
I'm way tired though. I should get to sleep.
Yeah, that's fine. It is holidays after all.
Good night. I'll continue reading tomorrow.
Okay. See you. Sleep well. Okay, last fish.
This game needs more birds.
It does have seagulls, at least in the sound. Not sure if you can actually see them. And it was a nothing. Well, as expected, didn't catch either of these. This is not going to be good. God damn it. Alright, well, thanks for joining me anyway. See you again next time.